Today we begin a sermon series. Here at ICC Mombasa, we are doing a new sermon series for the month of May. And we are going on a flight with our God and King. And we'll be learning from the Word of God about how to fly with the Lord. And how He wants us to be able to fly with Him. We'll spend time looking at that, but we'll also spend time looking at the Word of God and finding out, are there any things that are banned from this flight? Because I remember one day I was at the airport. Before you fly, they do a flight check, they do a security check. And as you're going through security, there are certain things, regardless of how expensive they are, they'll be thrown away. You cannot take them on the flight with you. And I remember being behind this lady who had a very big bottle, of some very expensive perfume called Elizabeth Taylor that was thrown away. And she, right there, started crying. Do you know Elizabeth Taylor? I didn't know Elizabeth Taylor until that day. It was thrown away. And, she was angry. She had tears in her eyes. She argued and all. She removed the receipts and she was saying how expensive it is, but the flight attendant threw it in the bin. I don't know whether it broke, but the way she threw it, I don't think it was meant to survive. Regardless of how expensive it was. In fact, I went to Google, I checked. When I went and sat down, I began checking. I was like, and I discovered, it's something nice. Ladies, how many of you know Elizabeth Taylor? I'm not asking what who uses. And so it was thrown away. And she tried to argue. She said, why are you throwing this away? And they told her, they showed her the notice. And she read, and there are things there that are not allowed on any flight. They're not weapons. I mean, Elizabeth Taylor perfume costing $950 is not a weapon. Are you getting me? Or you thought I was talking about perfume that costs $4K? I think you can get that. You can get that at Nakuman. You can, even though they don't have milk, you can get perfume at that. Well, I'm not dissing Nakuman, right? I'm just saying what is happening, But when I got to know the price, I was just a little bit, you know what $950 is? No, it's not $95. $95,000 it's $100,000 plus. You multiply with 103, I think 104. That's where the exchange rate is. So do the math. It's not 95. You're still cheapening it. 100K. It was thrown away. As she continued to argue and quarrel, she was told, leave, go ahead and get out your ticket and read what it says. And right there on the form that you receive from the airline or the travel agency, it's written right there what you can carry and what you cannot carry. So it was thrown away. And so even when it comes to flying with the Lord, there are certain things we cannot fly with. They might not necessarily be seen. And so we're not necessarily talking about sin this month. We're talking about things that we tend to tolerate and entertain and hold on to that will cost us flying with the Lord. And you might be looking at me and wondering, where is this whole subject of flying with the Lord comes from? There were no flights in the days of Jesus. Let me show you that they actually were there. Can I show you? Come together with me to the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse number 31. And we'll be reading many scriptures today, and the best thing that you can do is get your Bible out ready, get your Bible app ready, and also get your note-taking app ready, or your pen and paper, because we need to write. We need to get to learn these things. I believe that what I'm sharing is very critical, very important for us to be able to be who God wants us to be and live on a daily basis the kind of life that our Father desires of us to live. Isaiah chapter 40 verse number 31, the Bible says this. Can I read for you? But I believe you're already there, so I'll read a section and then I'll tell you continue. And so you will need to read the rest, so you need to be allowed to listen to this. It says, but those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. Those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. And I'll continue reading for me. They will soar high on wings like eagles. In other words, they will fly. They will fly. Now imagine God is speaking prophetically to his people through the prophet Isaiah, to a people who had never seen a plane, to a people who there were no kites or gliding or anything like that. So does this concept make sense? Yes, it does. Because when they looked at an eagle, it would fly not where all the other birds fly, but way, way higher. And when you're out in the fields, in the desert, in the wilderness, and an eagle is flying up in the air, one of the things that people do is you look up and you desire, you wish you were like an eagle. You wish you were up there flying, because you tend to travel faster. You arrive faster where you're going, and you're not affected by the elements that affect every one of us down here. Because eagles do not see cloudy days, because eagles fly above the clouds. When there are storms and rain and thunderclouds and lightning, the eagles fly above that. Fly above the clouds. And so this begins suddenly to make a little bit more sense, because it's something that we desire. When you're on a long journey and you're weary and you see an eagle and the things that it does up there, just not even flapping, just gliding around. And you're like, oh my goodness. And that's what the Bible is talking about, soaring up on wings as an eagle. Up there. And it was something that they would desire, but it's not just something that Isaiah is coming up with. It's a concept actually in Scripture. Let me show you somewhere else. Turn together with me to the book of Exodus chapter 19. I'd like you to read for me that one. Exodus chapter 19, verse number 3 and verse number 4. Would you go in there and just read that for me? I told you we'll read quite a number of scriptures today. And so, Exodus chapter number 19, verse number 3 and 4. Are you there? Let's go ahead and read together. It's up on the screen. And so, all of us looking up here, let's read together. 1 to go. So Moses is going up to meet the Lord, and the Lord is speaking to him. This is what he says. The next. As in, the Lord is saying, I carried you on wings. We are reading verse 24. I carried you on wings. I carried you out of captivity. I brought you to myself. I brought you to myself. That's the first place that we go. That God carried them out of captivity, out of things that held them, out of things that troubled them, out of things that were bondage to them, and brought them to Himself. He brought them to Himself that they may be with Him. And so this flight that God wants us to take is not necessarily to fly and go somewhere, but it's to bring us to Himself, that we may know Him, that we may have fellowship with Him, and also that He may remove us from situations that hold us captive, things that cause us not to be who He wants us to be, and that He may take us to that place that He wants us to go, because He carried them not just to Himself, but He carried them to the land of promise. My friends, let's continue reading here. I'm just building the picture here so that you understand that we are supposed to be on flight mode. We're supposed to be flying with the Lord. Let's read together Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse number 9 to verse number 12. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse number 9 to verse number 12. The Bible says this, and I'm reading this for us. The Bible says this, for the people of Israel belong to the Lord. Jacob is his special possession. He found them in a desert land, in an empty, howling wasteland. He surrounded them and watched over them. He guarded them as he would guard his own eyes. What a powerful picture that the Lord is painting here. Like an eagle that rouses her chicks and hovers over her young, so he spread his wings to take them up and carry them safely on his pinions. Carry them safely on his wings. The Lord alone guided them. They followed no foreign gods. In the picture that I see, even as I'm reading that, just digressing here a little, you know, when the young are on the wings of the eagle, and the eagle is flying with them, if a hunter comes out to hunt, he cannot be able to hunt the young. He can only aim at the eagle. That's what he's saying. Are you getting me? Because the young are on the wings. And eagles, I told you, fly way, way higher than a hunter can be able to reach, but they also fly above the clouds, and so there is no storm, there is no lightning up there. So in essence, when you are flying with the Lord, when you are on His wings, then you are safe from whatever disaster or danger that will try to come against you. God carries you to a place of safety. God carries you in Himself. God takes care of you. The picture I'm painting here is that the Lord wants us to fly with Him so that He can guide us along and bring us into all that He has for us. What a beautiful picture this is. I want to fly with the Lord. I want to be with Him. I want to know Him. I want to live daily in His presence as He guides me and shows me all that He has for me and where He wants me to go. That is not just me that He wants to do this with. God wants to do the same with you. He wants us to fly with Him. He has us on His radar. He's speaking us as He did the children of Israel, watching over us, protecting us, and then giving us flight on His wings so that we may go with Him. Are you getting me? This is a beautiful picture. I want to fly with the Lord. Do you want to fly with the Lord? Do you want to go where He wants you to go? Carrying you daily, day by day, guiding you, teaching you His ways, showing you, higher and higher heights that He wants you to go to, and carrying you to the fullness of His promises. There is a place that God wants to carry you. There is a place that God wants to carry me. There is a place that God wants to take us. Problem is, though, that just like modern flights will throw away your Elizabeth Taylor perfume regardless of how expensive it is, there are things that you cannot fly with when it comes to the Lord. Sincerely speaking, there was nothing wrong with that perfume. It's only that it was a banned item on that flight. Are you hearing me? And there are certain things that are banned. They are not sinful in themselves, but they are banned from the flight with the Lord. They are banned from the flight with the Lord. You can't fly with them. You can't go anywhere with them. There are certain things that are not allowed in certain flights. I already told you that. But interestingly, I've come to learn recently that certain countries have other things that they ban that might not be banned in one country, but they are banned in another. Are you with me? You can't fly with them. You can't go anywhere with them. On the 27th of March, 2017, several weeks ago, I was on KQ 886 flying from Nairobi to Guangzhou. And this flight, I was on my way to a conference in Singapore. And on this flight, we had to stop over in Bangkok, Thailand, to be flown. And so that meant that we had to alight from the plane, go into the airport, go and wait for about an hour, and then would come back and board the flight, and then would continue on to Guangzhou. And interestingly, we had to go through security. Even though we are at the airport, we have not left, and everyone who is where we are has already gone through security check. So it didn't make sense, but we had to go through security check, and so we come, we queue, and we're going through security check, and I was almost left by my flight. In fact, I almost got bumped out of the flight because as I'm walking around, I did realize that this is called a power bank that is actually banned from flying out of Bangkok, Thailand. Even though I had flown with it to many places before, but it's banned in flights in Bangkok. And so I come and I go through security check, and they keep me aside, and they begin telling me that I have an item that is banned, and I can't understand what they're saying because they are speaking in Thai and I'm speaking to them in English, and asking, so why have I been removed from the queue and put on the side, and I cannot progress on with everyone else? And I can see where the flight is. I can see people beginning to board, and here I am with people that are speaking to me in Thai, telling me I have a banned item, and I have no idea what the banned item is. Are you with me? And then finally one of them picks it and puts it aside and says, this is banned. Well, I'm assuming that's what they were saying. And they tell me it's not allowed on the flight. Then they get somebody who is supposed to speak English, and he comes, and his English is very broken at best, and he says, this banned. And so I say, okay, if it's banned, I can fly with it. I don't understand. I came with that plane from Nairobi, and I was on another plane from Mombasa, so this can't be banned. And he says, Thai banned. And I see the queues reducing, the number of people are reducing. I'm about to be left, and so I say, well, can I leave it then? I don't need it. And say, no, take it outside. I'm supposed to take it outside. I got to learn later. Outside the airport, there's a bin where they throw. They will not allow you to throw it in the airport. Now you can imagine, your plane is about to leave, and you're supposed to go out of the airport. You don't even know what direction. Okay. And you know, sometimes where you're being told to go outside, and your boarding gate might be very far. And so I asked them, so I can take it with me, and I can't leave it here, so what do you want me to do? I'm supposed to do on that flight. Finally, a good gentleman who could speak English more fluently came, and he told me that this is not allowed in Thailand. You cannot fly in the power. Apparently, as this conversation was going on, I was trying to look for an app that could translate Thai to English. You know, so in doing that, I decided to Google, as I'm waiting for somebody to help me, to Google and check, and I went to the website where of the creators. And I found a very interesting line. It's interesting how God is able to lead you to things that are very helpful. Right at the point, you know, Jesus says that He will give you the words, right, when you need them. And I landed, sincerely, I believe it was the Lord. I landed on their website, and there was a line saying that their gadgets are allowed on flights around the world. And so this gentleman who comes, who can speak English fluently, and I showed him. And he says, okay, he reads, he checks, and he says, okay. But here's the thing, you've got to print that. I need to print that notice so that I can carry it, so that no one stops me as I go to the plane. Are you getting me? I need to print, and I need to give him a copy, and he leaves me with a copy, and I'm like, okay, so can I use your printer? And he says, no, you can't use our printers. And I'm thinking, how you carry around the printer? You know, I almost started asking other passengers, do you have a printer? Bottom line is, it was a banned item. But the Lord intervened, so I was allowed to run to the flight. This was after my name began being called out on the airport intercom. So they know I said that. I mean, they're calling me. Can you hear they're calling me? So they allowed me to go. I don't know for whatever reason. Maybe I don't know, they allowed me. I know the flight is well, it's banned in Thailand, but it's not banned in Singapore. That's how I was able to come back with it after attending the conference that I was attending. You know, I mean, Kenya it's not banned, but the issue is in Thailand it is burnt. When it comes to the Lord, certain things are burnt. You can fly with them in your culture. You can fly with them in your country. You can fly with them with your friends. But if you want to fly with the Lord, certain things are burnt. Is that settled? If I ever find myself on a flight that is going to pass through Bangkok, or I'm headed to Bangkok, one of the things I know I will not carry is, there you are. It will not be anywhere on my carry-on. No way. I'm not missing my flight. What if I meet the same guy and he looks at me and he says, "Bye, where are we to go here?" I'm not doing that. I've learned my lesson. Are you hearing me? I've learned my lesson. And so when it comes to flying with God, certain things are not allowed. They might not be sinful. You might not look at them as though they're a problem, but they're not allowed. And the first thing that we're talking about this Sunday is the whole issue of weariness. Weariness. Weariness is not allowed on any flight that you want to fly, where God is going to carry you on his wings like an eagle, where God wants you to go, where God is taking you. You cannot go with weariness. Are we together? Let me help you understand why weariness is banned on this flight. Let me help you understand why weariness is banned. Several meanings of the word weariness are out of scripture. Several meanings. Let me give them to you. The first one, the several meanings. The first one, I'll give you 3 meanings, and you need to remember them. So listen to me and listen to me keenly. The first one says, weariness is a reluctance to see, experience, or find pleasure anymore in something. Did you hear that? Weariness is a reluctance to see, experience, or find pleasure anymore in something. A reluctance to see, experience, or find pleasure anymore in something. Can I give you the second meaning? The second meaning is this: the state of being bored. The state of being bored. Let me just ask you, how many of you are bored? Please appear here. Oh, please keep it down, because some of the things I will say here today, your neighbor might just doing your opinion. State of being bored. Can I give you the third meaning? The third meaning, here it comes, says this: the state of being depleted of energy and experiencing extreme fatigue. Depleted of energy and experiencing extreme fatigue. You might look at me and say, "Pastor, how then can weariness be a banned item on a flight with the Lord?" How can weariness be a banned item on a flight with the Lord? I'd like to look at those meanings and go a little bit deeper in them. But before I do so, let me go back to a scripture we've already read. Isaiah chapter 40. I told you we'll read quite a number of scriptures today. I'm going to Isaiah chapter 40. And instead of beginning to read at verse 31, I'd like to go and begin reading at verse number 28. This is what the Bible says: have you not known? Have you not heard? The everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, neither faints nor is weary. His understanding is unsearchable. I will pause there for a moment. I'll continue reading. God does not grow weary. That's precise. That's it's right there. He does not faint and he does not grow weary. Why would the Bible bother telling us that God does not grow weary? Is it important? Is it important? I'll tell you whether it is before we end this sermon today. Verse 29, he gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might, he increases strength. To those who have no might, he increases strength. In other words, when you find yourself in a place where you're tired and in fatigue, what you do is you find strength in the Lord. You do not allow weariness to take a hold of you. Are we together? Alright, let me continue reading verse number 30. Even youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall, but those who wait on the Lord. In other words, when you grow weary, you are not waiting on the Lord. When you allow weariness to come in, you have missed something. You are not walking with the Lord. You are not waiting on God. And that's why on this flight, weariness is not allowed. Those who wait on the Lord, they shall renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be weary. Why? They are waiting on God. And so when I find myself weary, there is something I have missed doing. There is something that I have missed doing. I told you I'll dig deeper on those same meanings. Can we take a closer look at each one of those meanings? Can I do that? Imagine being at a place where you no longer see anything good in your life. You go through a day with a gloomy and moody face, unable to see God's hand or goodness in your life. You end up not able to focus on Him, unable to praise Him, not even seeing what He is doing. You might ask me, where are you getting that one from? The first meaning I gave you simply says a reluctance to see, experience, or find pleasure anymore in something. You no longer find pleasure in worshiping God. You no longer find pleasure in serving God. You no longer find pleasure in being involved in the things of God. Prayer becomes a drug. Reading the Bible becomes a drug. Walking with God, living your life for the kingdom of the living God becomes a drug. You are no longer finding pleasure in doing those things. Why? Because you have a reluctance to see and experience God. And so weariness comes in. And so you are unable to wait on the Lord. The Bible says those who wait on the Lord. You are unable to wait on the Lord. Why? You have a reluctance to see, experience, and find pleasure in the Lord anymore. The things of God become just something that you do for the sake of it. But there's no more excitement or longing or desire for God. It's nothing. No wonder the Bible tells us of Jesus speaking to the church in the book of Revelation chapter 2, and He says, you have forgotten your first love. Because you have come to the place where you are reluctant to see, to experience, and to find pleasure in God, in your love for Him, in the things that He calls you to. That's the first meaning. Can I take you to the second meaning? Are you ready? You're bored with life. You're bored with God. You're bored with His purpose for you. And this can cause you to end up wanting to get out of what God has for you. Instead of sitting down and reading the Bible, for example, you have no problem watching 5 seasons at a go of which program? Scandal. 5 seasons! 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and you can't find 10 minutes to read the Bible. Can spend 5 hours on Facebook, but can't find 20 minutes to be able to pray. You're bored. The things of God. I had a roommate who used to tell me when I was in campus that Christianity is very boring. And here's what I used to do every Saturday morning. Because the guy used to drink every Friday night and go partying and clubbing. And so every Saturday morning we'll meet. When I'm picking my bucket to go and wash my clothes. And he would ask me to go and buy him Panadol. And I'll be like, hey, wait! I thought my life is boring. I took milk last night and I am not feeling like I've been hanged somewhere over hell. You want Panadol? My goodness, look at your eyes. I used to do that. Because Monday to Friday, you'd make fun of me and my faith. Saturday, I would lose all the ammunition of it. I'll tell you, by the way, you need to wake up and clean up this room. It's smelling like a broom. Look at your bed sheets, and all the other things that they do when they're drunk. I won't tell you what those things are. It's lunchtime. Are you getting me? I mean, and you tell me that's an enjoyable. Oh my goodness, I would be on his face. Boring? What is boring? Boring. Boring is waking up and going to pray. That's not called boring. And then coming back, I'm able to wash my clothes. I have no headache. I can sit and enjoy my meal, and all the other things. I can sing, I can dance in the room, and I had a system, I had music, and I'll put it on, and it's like, oh, please shut it down. My head. I I thought you said my life was boring. Boredom can cause you to end up giving up on God's purpose for your life. You end up wanting out, wanting to get out of what God has for you. Leaving it all and walking away. Let's look at the third definition. I gave you three meanings, isn't it? What was the first one? I thought by now you should have gotten it. I've repeated it so many times. An reluctance to see and experience and find pleasure in something anymore. Or anymore in something. The meaning is the same. I've tried both ways. You no longer find pleasure in those things. The second one, you're bored. You're bored with something. And boredom is so dangerous, let me tell you. Boredom is so dangerous. It will cause you to stay on a channel that you shouldn't. It will cause you to click on something that you shouldn't. It will cause you to begin a conversation that you shouldn't. It will cause you to choose to hang out with some friends that you shouldn't hang out with. And before you know it, you are no longer where God wanted you to be. You find yourself having drifted. Are you with me? And the third definition that I gave you, let me look at that as we continue with our sermon for today. It says, a state of being depleted of energy and experiencing extreme fatigue. Now imagine being depleted of energy, yet God invites you to come to Him. Jesus said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden." It simply means I'm not obeying that word. It simply means what I told you earlier. You are at the place where you're not going to God. You're not waiting on God. You're not allowing Him to renew your strength and lift you up and lead you. And I've come to discover that the moments that I choose not to worship God and just focus on God and His goodness and His love for me and just be able to worship Him and get into His word, weariness creeps in so easily. And I end up discouraged. I end up feeling as though life has beaten me up and handed me not just lemons but chilies. But the moment I turn to God and I begin to seek Him and worship Him and praise Him, my friends, He renews my strength. He renews my strength. If you think that weariness is a joke, just look at the life of Lot. Rescued by the angels from the city of Sodom. Actually, not because of himself, but because of the intercession of Abraham. He ends up at the gates of the city. The angels are literally, this is not funny. Really. The angels had to drag Lot and his wife and daughters to the gates of the city because they were reluctant. Read the text. It says they dragged their feet. They were weary. They did not want to leave. Weariness causes you to want to stay in places that you should not stay in. You linger in places that you should not linger. You allow yourself to self-destruct. Even though you know I should not be having this conversation, you keep on having that conversation. You continue on with that chat, even though you know you need to get out of it as quickly as possible. You entertain that conversation, even though you know you should not be entertaining it. You continue on with the flirting when you know you need to carry off and say, this is not me. I am born again. The Lord has set me free. And so, there they were dragging their feet. The angels had to drag them to the city gates. And when they got to the city gates, they are told to run. They are told, run as fast as you can to the hills. And God says, oh my Lord, I can't make it to the hills. We can't make it. Some disaster will overtake us. Allow us to go to this small town that is nearby, the town of Zoar. So they were allowed to go to Zoar, even though Zoar was to be destroyed also. And so Zoar was not destroyed, they ran there. But then a few days in Zoar, they ran off, they left. But before they left, before they even got to Zoar, Lot's wife looks back. You see, weariness causes you to look back at things that you should not look back at. You're thinking, I used to enjoy life more when I was planting and sleeping around and drinking. Maybe life was better when I was so beaten up by the devil, when I was caught up in pornography and all kinds of stuff. Maybe that was better. And so she looks back. She becomes a pillar of salt. As the husband and the daughters run into Zoar, and then later they run into the hills, and the daughters end up building the family. Now I pause here and I ask, what if they passed them where they have been told to run? What if Lot's wife did not look back? What if they did not allow weariness to cause them to end up here? How would the story of Lot and his family have turned out? Because I tend to think that God had a plan and a purpose for them. I think you believe that story would have been very different. Maybe the world would have been a totally different place. Are you getting it? But right now, all we can speculate is maybe because we do not know. Because they self-destructed, they allowed weariness to keep them from going where God wanted them to go. I will pause here and I ask, are there things that weariness is costing you not to experience? Are there things that weariness is costing you? Are there things that weariness is stealing from you? Because you need to ensure you do not allow that to happen. There are a lot of people that do not pray. Prayer lives that have become so dry nowadays because weariness has been allowed to come in. We do not pray for our children the way we're supposed to pray. We do not intercede for our city the way we're supposed to intercede. We do not live the kind of life that God wants us to live because of weariness. My friends, we need to change that script. We need to go after everything that God has for us. We need to speak the word of God. We need to know what it says. We need to begin to live as soldiers, as Christians, as believers that we're supposed to be. In fact, we need to take the fight that we are meant to be on. Amen? The other story that I'd like to point out is the story of a man called Samson. It's so sad that Samson is the kind of guy who you are taught all the things that you should not do from. Do you understand? All the things that you shouldn't do. Don't do this, learn from Samson. Don't do this, learn from Samson. It's like a young man in a village where I come from who died at the age of 25. He died all alone by himself. In fact, the saying in the village is that don't die. That's what boys are told. Don't die like so-and-so who died without even owning his own toilet. Do you understand what that means? It simply means you didn't have a cat, you didn't have a chicken, you didn't have anything to your name. I mean, you didn't even have a place to relieve yourself. Okay? In the villages, maybe in town it's not a big deal because you use your landlords to further. But in the villages, that's really hard when people say that about you. Okay? He was a drunk, wasted his life. At the age of 19, he was born again. At the age of 25, he died, drunk and hit by the car by the side of the road. He had slept on the road. He was saying it's his bed and it's comfortable that day. And he was right at a bend and he was run over. Not on purpose. The person did not know he was in the wrong place. He was the kind of guy who his father had given him cows and he had sold. He had been given, in fact, can you imagine when he was allocated a piece of land by his father, that the father made sure that his brother's name is on the title, because that way they would stop him from selling and drinking the money. Are you getting me? And it wasn't a small piece of land. He was given about 3 acres. Now 3 acres in Kiambu is a lot of money, just the land alone. Because right now you can get a maker from that area for I think about 15 million thereabouts. So he had an inheritance, he had everything that he should have been living from. He was born again, he walked away from the faith. When I was growing up, I felt so bad one day. I don't know what I had done. My mother told me, now you want to end up, you're a bright young man, but you want to end up like so-and-so, who died without even owning his own. I felt so bad. I don't even remember what I had done. I'm not to be like the Lord. The Bible says that the Lord has forgotten my sins and separated me from them as the east is from the west. I'm like the Lord. I do not remember what I've done that day, and you cannot remind me. Samson is like that young man. We are told all the things that we should not do from him. Can you imagine? But let me show you something. I'd like you to read for me Judges chapter 15, verse number. Judges chapter 15, if you go in there. Let me just show you something very, very powerful out of this young man. Judges Because even though he's the source of all the jokes that people make and all the things that they tell you you should not become as a man or even a woman, here is something that we learn from Judges chapter number 15. Are you there? Read for me verse number 20. What does it say? What does verse 20 say? All of us reading together. 1, 2, go. Today I've been reading from this screen, and you might assume it's a holy screen. Let me turn to this other one, because they're just screens, okay? So what does it say? Samson led Israel for 20 years. In other words, he was not a failure the way we point him out to be. He was successful for 20 years. For 20 years, he led the nation of Israel. For 20 years, he took care of them. For 20 years, he encouraged them. For 20 years, he helped them to fight their enemies and win. For 20 years, they did well. But then something happened. If you will turn to the next verse, the next chapter, verse number 1. Judges 16, verse number 1. What does the Bible say? If you read the rest of Judges 16, Samson self-destructs. That legacy of being a good leader for 20 years is destroyed and forgotten. Now, this verse might not look like it's saying much, but remember the definitions I gave you of weariness. Do you remember them? Tell me the first one. What did it say? A reluctance to see, experience, and find pleasure in living in the land of Israel. He finds no pleasure in being in Israel. He finds, there's nothing to experience there, nothing to see. He's reluctant to see the goodness and the grace and the favor and the love of God. And so he walks away and goes to enemy territory, to the land of the Philistines, and there he sees. He's no longer seeing the things of God and the favor of God and the blessing of God. What does he see? He sees a prostitute. The second definition, a state of being bored. The guy is bored in being a judge, in being a leader of Israel, in just being in his nation and helping people live the kind of life that God wants them to live. He is bored, and so he goes. I don't know whether it's a morning or an afternoon, but he strays into enemy territory and he sees a prostitute and he goes into her. The third definition, what did we say? State of being depleted of energy and fatigued. He's tired. I'm tired of this God thing. Have you ever had people say that? I'm tired of this faith thing. I'm tired of being a leader of these people. That there is no thrill, there is no excitement in it. I need to get some thrill, some excitement. I need to walk into enemy territory and see what they have to offer me. And what it ends up doing is causing the man to die one day with his eyes gorged out, chained up like an animal. Are you hearing me? And his hair cut. He leans on the pillars one day and he says, God, revive me just one more time. Somehow he finds his way back to the Lord. Friends, you don't need to allow that to happen to you. Because by the time you're turning back to the Lord, you might be having no eyes. You can no longer see the goodness and the grace of God. You might be having all your source of strength and power cut off. You might find yourself chained up like an animal. Friends, you do not need to do that. You do not need to do that. And having spent time just showing you what weariness can do, can I take you away from this? Because going by the look on your faces, you are tired of hearing anymore about weariness. In fact, some of you are saying, please just take us out of this. Is there an answer? Well, what do I need to do to fly with the Lord? I don't want to be weary. Are you hearing me? Just one more. Can I tell you just one more thing about weariness, and then we'll talk about how to defeat it? Just one more, okay? This will kill you. Can I tell you one more? You've been entertaining weariness for so long. Let me just give you one more and just get you weary a little bit more. This statement is powerful. It says, weariness will always wear off from us the awareness of who God is and what God desires of us. I'm sure you've seen that statement up earlier, but I think you need to write it down. It says, weariness will always wear off from us the awareness of who God is and what God desires of us. You see, when you lose sight, when you are no longer aware of God, you are unable to worship Him. When you are unaware of God's presence, you will not be able to worship Him. When you are unaware of who God is and what He desires to do in your life, you will not be able to obey Him or walk in His will or walk in His purposes. Are you hearing me? Let me give you that statement one more time. It says, weariness will always wear off from us the awareness of who God is and what He desires of us. It causes you to lose sight of God. It causes you to lose sight of who God says you are and what God desires of you. Weariness causes you to decide, you know what, I am tired of this prayer thing. Weariness causes you to decide, if you know that's what the Bible says, and you give up on things that you should not give up on. So how do you defeat weariness? How do you defeat weariness? How do you ensure that you're able to live the kind of life that God wants you to live? Now that weariness is banned from flying with the Lord, what do you need to do? 3 things, and I'll give you this very quickly. If you're with me, can we do this very quickly? Let me give them to you. The first one, just listen to this. This is how you beat weariness. This is how you deal with it. This is how you ensure you're able to fly with the Lord. Number 1, hold on to your joy. Hold on to your joy. You might look at me and say, Pastor Billy, is that it? Let me show you from the Word of God that it is it. You see, weariness does not exist where joy has residence. When we lose joy, we end up losing sight of all that God has. We get bored with where we are at, and we become reluctant to continue on and experiencing all that God has for us. When joy is absent, we no longer desire or delight in staying in those things or doing those things. You find yourself walking away from them. There is no longer excitement. You no longer want to experience it. Why should you experience something that has no joy? You're reluctant in going in that direction. But when the joy is there, you want to stay in there. You want to stay in there. The Bible says in Philippians 4, verse number 4, always be joyful in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. A different version says, rejoice in the Lord. And again I say, rejoice. My pastor used to tell me that anytime you come across something that the Bible repeats twice in the same verse, or repeats in 1 or 2 verses immediately after it has already been said, God is shouting. So can I shout? I'd like to shout, rejoice! Rejoice in the Lord. And again the Bible says, rejoice! Because it's in the joy in the Lord, it's in that finding of joy in the Lord that you are able to overcome weariness. You are able to keep going in the direction that God wants you to go. That verse number 4, is found immediately after Paul is talking about people that were having a fight in the church. 2 ladies that were not agreeing, so affecting the ministry of the church at Philippi. And immediately after that, he is telling them how they need to pray without ceasing and not being anxious and pursuing God. Now here's the thing, it simply tells me that that's how you deal with weariness. That's how you bring people together. That's how you deal with fights and stuff like that. Cause people to see the same joy and begin to run after it. Because the joy of the Lord therefore becomes their strength. They're renewed. They're able to go where God wants them to go. You see, in the middle of the night, worn out, beaten, in pain, 2 people, Paul and Silas, found themselves in a prison, locked up. And instead of sitting in a corner and groveling about their problems, Paul in one corner, Silas in another, and looking at each other and saying, now we've been beaten. In fact, they almost tore out my ligaments, and just talking about how things were bad, Silas, this faith thing, I don't think it's working anymore. So we prayed, Paul, we prayed, we trusted God, but look where we have ended up. Instead of doing that, the Bible tells us, in the middle of the night, what were they doing? They were singing, joyfully praising the Lord. They found joy in the midnight hour in the prison. And what do you do when you bring in joy? Let me tell you something. You begin having a crusade, a revival meeting, right in the middle of prison. Regardless of your wounds and stuff, the jailer comes running. What must I do to be saved? Here is what you do. Repent of your sins and be baptized. And they went baptizing him in the middle of the night. Are you hearing me? Somebody needs to do that in our generation. We need to begin having baptism in the middle of the night as we show our city how to walk with God, how to pursue God, how to live for God, how to serve God's purposes. That's okay. That's okay. You can stay in your weariness. I'm going to shut myself out here. I'm going to praise the Lord. I'm going to exalt God and walk in God's purpose. And why? The joy of the Lord is my strength. This is what Jesus said. I just love what Jesus said. Jesus said in John 16, verse 33, he's already told his disciples that they will face a lot of troubles on planet Earth. Then he tells them in verse number 33, what does he tell them? John 16, verse 33, he says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world, you will have trouble. Let me just pause there and just allow you to get this, to get this, because I'm about to say something here when I'm reading the Word of God, so it's not me saying it. Jesus continues, he says, but be of good cheer. Be of good cheer. Your neighbor has talked about you. People are saying stuff about you. You are discouraged. You waited on God. You prayed. Something did not happen. Be of good cheer. Oh, forget about dwelling and talking about the problems and how things are not working. Be of good cheer. Things are not working in the city of Mombasa. Come on, here's what you do. Be of good cheer. Why? Jesus has overcome the world. And because Jesus has overcome, you will overcome also. Remember, you're on a flight with Him. And so you will overcome. It doesn't matter what is going on. Look at the person next to you. Give them a look that says you are about to get angry with them. And just tell them, hey, you need to be cheerful in the Lord. And if they give you a long face, here's what to do. Can I tell you what you do? If they give you a long face, they're not cheerful, there is no joy in them. You have permission to pinch them, slap them, kick them, whatever it is that you do. We need the joy of the Lord. Oh, Shetani Mongo. You know, he's been telling us how, things are not working and all kinds of stuff. And we've lost our joy. Somebody needs to get their joy back. How did David survive? Anointed to be king at the age of 14 or 13 thereabouts, and became king at 25. How did he survive in the wilderness, running away from Saul that wanted to kill him? How did he survive holding on to the promises of God until they were accomplished? How did he make it? Because I believe if we can be able to establish this, then we'll be able to know how we can make it also. Turn together with me to Psalm 27, Psalm 28, sorry. Psalm 28, verse number 7. I need you to read for me that scripture. Are you here? Are you hearing me? Psalm 28, verse number 7. Let's read together. I told you we'll read a lot of verses today. But here's the thing, I have no problem reading the Word of God to you. In fact, one of these days maybe we need to do like Ezra. You come in the morning, 7 a.m. and you stand on your feet and I read the Bible for you until evening, 6 p.m. And then you go home and come the following day. And when I read something and you realize you've been doing it and it's sinful against the Lord, you pull out your hair. That's what they did in the days of Ezra. And here I am preaching and you're seated. I can read the Word of God all day for you. So let's read together. Psalm 28, verse number 7. What does the Bible say? Just pause there. The Lord is David's strength and his shield. His heart trusts in Him. Now we read in Isaiah that when you trust in the Lord, what happens? When you trust in the Lord, what happens? He renews your strength. That's what we read, isn't it? He renews our strength. And so David is saying the Lord is my strength. Why? When I trust in Him, He renews my strength. He helps me. Weariness doesn't kill me. Whether it's been 5 years waiting on the promises of God and they have not come, I will not give up. I will wait on the Lord. And this is what happens. Read for me the remaining verse. My heart leaps for joy. Let's read that again. My heart leaps for joy. Yes, you feel with joy. You hold on. That's the point I gave you. You hold on to your joy. Do not let it go. Because the moment you lose it, you lose out to weariness. Weariness steals our joy. It causes us to forget praising God. And we become entertainers instead of trying to get some feeling. Trying to get some feelings. But when we learn from David, it is that joy comes from the Lord, and when that joy comes, a song comes. That's why I keep saying, the body of Christ needs to go back to the Lord and begin to focus on Him and see Him and know Him and experience Him. Because when you do that, we'll kick out of the church the games and the gimmicks that we play. And you spend 5 minutes doing that, and you're not praising God in any way. Have the joy. You don't need to make up some joy. Get it from God. Hold on to your joy so that you may be who God wants you to be. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Look at your neighbor and tell them, get your joy back. Number 2. I think I need to finish this quickly, isn't it? Number two. What does number 2 say? Number 2 says, keep your focus on Jesus. Keep your focus on Jesus. We have to lift up our eyes to Jesus. Keep our focus on Jesus so that we may keep running, keep going, without allowing weariness to wear us down. The Bible tells us the following. Hebrews chapter 12, verse number 2. I told you, you're reading verses today. Hebrews 12, verse number 2. The Bible says we do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting Him, He endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now He is seated in the place of honor beside God's throne. What did Jesus do? He ran. And what are we called to do? Keep our eyes on Him. Keep our eyes on Him so that you may see what He's doing. When you see what Jesus is doing, you will not become weary. You might ask me, how does that go? When I focus on Jesus, I'm able to see what He's doing in my life. I'm able to see what He's doing for me. I'm able to see what He's doing in me. I'm able to see what He's doing for me. And I'm able to see what He's doing around me. And I keep praising Him. I keep running with Him. I keep honoring and worshiping God. My friends, by the way, I realize we need to keep some people out of our lives. I mean, that's it. The other day I was having a discussion with somebody, and forget politics. This is not about politics. This is about God and what God has done. And we were talking about security in the city of Mombasa. And this person was going on and on how the government has done nothing, they've been useless, whatever. And he went on and on. And I told him, hey, in your hatred of the government, do not ever joke with what my God has done. And I told him, you are there. We were with you in Baraki KPA, when we prayed and asked God for security in this city, when we prayed God, we asked the Lord to keep out terrorism out of Mombasa, and since then till now, none of it has happened in this city. And I told him, where? What on Chezo? My God has answered that prayer. You can go away wherever you want with your government, but my God answers prayer. Who's in Jezebel? I mean, I'm not allowed. I will throw, if you were in a ship somewhere in the ocean, I would have thrown him in the ocean. I mean, I'm fed up of people who keep clouding my eyes and causing me not to see what God has done. You can choose whatever political side you choose, but here is the thing, my friend. Stay with Jesus. Did you hear me? In fact, I just need to be careful. Don't come anywhere. Close in one of you. I mean, sincerely. You prayed, you are there, we prayed, we believe God to do it, and God has done it, and you go around saying all kinds of things. And I told you, I think our friendship and our talking together is done. Because anyone who robs God of His praise is a bad robber. Huyo ni mwizi, zaidi ya mwizi ambaye anakuibia pesa. I mean, anyone who begins to look at the things that God has done and say that those things God has not done. If you don't believe me, Jesus said such a person will not be forgiven. But that's the blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. Jesus was casting out devils. You're looking at me as though I'm saying a crazy thing. Jesus was casting out devils. And the Pharisees came and said, He's casting out devils by the power of Beelzebub. In other words, they attributed what God is doing to the power of the devil. And Jesus said, if you sin against God the Father, you'll be forgiven. If you sin against the Son, you'll be forgiven. But if you sin against the Holy Spirit, by attributing what He is doing to the devil, pass your convention. Be careful what you say and what you speak. You choose your political side, but be careful what you say about God. Weariness is causing people to lose God's kingdom. Because they move their eyes from Jesus and they begin to look around and see other things. And somebody needs to speak it. And so that day, when you go to vote, you need to listen to what God is saying. I mean, you don't understand what the lesson. Yeah. I told you, weariness will cause you not to take flight. You will not go with the Lord. It's causing us to begin to say things we should not be saying. Look at your life. What is it that you're seeing God doing? Look at your city. What is it that God is doing? Look at your nation. What is it that God is doing? Have you been praying? Have you seen God answer those prayers? What I know is God answers my prayer. And He can cause any leader to begin to do those things and walk in God's purposes. But my God, do not ever compare Him to a human being, because He's incomparable. And you've got to choose. We need to come to the place as a body of Christ where we choose whether we want to go with God or we want to choose our own ways. As for me and my house, I am choosing to go with God. Oh, I'll praise Him. I'll worship Him. I will sing. I will wake up in the middle of the night and sing songs for Him. You can choose whatever. But here's the thing. I'm calling us today. We can choose. We can choose to go with God. We can choose to praise God. We can choose to live our lives for God with our eyes focused on the King. Because regardless of who will be president on the 8th of August, this nation will move forward. On the 4th of March, I stood in this church and I said, regardless of who is appointed president, no nation will turn against Kenya. No nation. You remember, some of you were there, isn't it? With all the tribes, the talk that was going on, all the nations came back and said, we are ready to work with you. Okay? So which one do you want to choose? When people say our nation was bad, in March of 2015, someone at the terrorist attack in Garissa. In May we prayed, God lift up the travel advisories. In June they were lifted. So it's not what is happening in your country, it's what God is doing. So you choose whether you want to go with God or you want to speak like a politician full of devils from their village who just speaks anything the way they want. There are certain things that will not happen in this nation. I refuse. I resist. I am tired of being afraid and running and hiding because of tribalism. I stand against it today in the name of Jesus. That demon is defeated. Because Kenya has a destiny. There is a place we are supposed to go. And I'm tired of hiding in the church and praying simple prayers. Father, deal with the headache. It's time He deals with State House and Parliament. I'm going to say I want to preach anymore. I want to pray. Read for me. Isaiah chapter 35. Read for me. Isaiah chapter 35. I'd like us to read verse number 1 to verse number 4. And then I'll read down 9. Because my call is church, we've got to lift up our eyes to Jesus. No more looking at demigods from the village. They are not gods at all. No more looking at politicians. They are not our hope. No more looking at things and situations that have no help for us. Politicians will not be able to deal with corruption. No one will be able to deal with the problem of drug addictions and the problem that brings. Only God can do it. Only God can do it. And it's time for us to lift up our eyes to Him and allow Him to deal with the problem. Read for me. Isaiah 35, you read verse number 1 to verse number 4. Please read right now, beginning now. 1 to go. In other words, God will cause the desert to begin to bloom. There will be a blossoming of life in the desert. And it does not matter what you see or what you say, God will do it. Verse 2. Father God, I pray that we will see the glory of the Lord in the nation of Kenya. That we will see your splendor in this land. Because for too long we have seen things that we are not supposed to be seeing. And I pray every one of us here, Father, that you would open our eyes that we may see the splendor and the glory of the living God. Would you lift up our eyes beyond the problems and challenges and situations that we find ourselves in, oh God? May we begin to see your glory. May we begin to see your greatness, your power, who you really are. Because God, when we see who you are, we will live the way you want us to live. We'll be able to overcome weariness. Father, open my eyes. Open our eyes. Help us to see your glory. Covering this nation, covering Mombasa, covering the nation of Kenya as the waters cover the seas, from the north to the south, from the east to the west. Let your glory fall, Lord. Show us your splendor, who you really are, my Father, in the name of Jesus. This is my prayer. Let's continue reading. This is my prayer. Oh no, ICC Mombasa, that's not how we live. Not in this church. I mean, we read the word of God like we believe it. Are we together? Let's read verse 3. Yes, my God is coming. My God is coming. You can choose whatever it is that you want to believe, but my God is coming. And He says to me today, strengthen the weak hands and the weak knees. Tell those people that they need to be strong and not be afraid. Why? God is coming in His glory, in His majesty, in His power. And He's coming to do what He said He will do. And it doesn't matter what the enemy tries to do. Are you hearing me? God will do it. God will do it. Now, it's very interesting. If you look at verse number 3 again, and I'm reading specifically here from the New Living Translation, it says this. From the New Living Translation, verse number 3 says, say to those, no, that's verse number 4. It says, because of this. In other words, with this news, which news? Of what God is coming to do, of what God desires, of God coming to show His glory. Because of this, with this news, then this is what to do. You strengthen the hands that are weak and you encourage those who have weak knees. And so I stand here today, and because of the news of what God wants to do in your city, what God wants to do in your nation, what God wants to do in your life, I tell you today, strengthen those hands. Strengthen those knees. My friend, you need to stand and begin to pray. You need to walk around. You need to use your hands to worship God. Don't let the enemy discourage you or put you down. Get your joy back. Put your eyes on the Lord. And lastly, and I am done, number 3, go after your harvest. Go after your harvest. What God has for you, go for it. Go be who God wants you to be. Stop allowing the enemy to tear you down. Don't allow what people say about you to confuse you or discourage you. Are you hearing me? Strengthen yourself. Run. Go after your harvest. Go after it. It doesn't matter who said what. They might have said you will never amount to anything. Big deal. They might have said that no one from your village succeeds. Forget them. Their words do not matter. The one who sent me to tell you this, that you need to go after your harvest, is the God who says let there be and there was. And He is able to recreate for you afresh, so that you may live the life that He has for you. So go after your harvest. Let me read the word of God for us here, and then we'll be done. Galatians chapter 6, verse number 9. Are you able to go there? In fact, put it up for us on the screen. Let's read all of us together. I'd like to show you something out of that verse, and then our dad, Pastor Stratton, is ready to take the mic. So, Galatians chapter 6, verse number 9. Are you there? Because we need to go after our harvest. We need to be all that God wants us to be. We need to live the life that God wants us to live. We need to serve Him the way He wants to be served. We need to run after everything that He wants us to run after. Are you ready? Can we read together? Go ahead, read. Let's read. 1, 2, go. Alright, stop there. Begin again. Please start again. Are you hearing what the Bible is saying? What is the Bible saying? Are you getting what the Bible is saying? It's a commitment that we are making. It's a call that I'm making today. My friends, I am saying, you and I together, let us not become weary in doing good. Let us not allow weariness to come in. Why? Let's continue reading. What time? What time? Midnight time for Paul and Silas was proper time. They were praising God in there. They were worshiping and blessing the name of the Lord. And the doors flew open. The chains fell off. But they didn't fall off so that they would run out. They were not covered. They fell off, the doors opened, and they sat in there waiting because they knew the jailer is coming. Oh, the jailer is coming. Today he's giving his life to Jesus. Oh, the jailer is coming. Life is changing. Oh, it doesn't matter what politicians say. The jailer is coming. There's going to be salvation and change in this nation. And if people come to believe God, they will believe the Bible. The jailer is coming. And his life will be changed. Who is the jailer? It might be that politician from the village. It might be somebody who has been holding and sitting back on your promises. Let me tell you something. Before you leave that company, that boss will give his life to Jesus. And then you can walk away and go to another company and lead another boss to Jesus. Are you hearing me? The jailer is coming because it's proper time now. It's time for revival. It's time for the outpouring of the Holy Spirit of the living God. It's time for people in this city to give their life to Jesus, whether they be sheikhs or other Muslims. Let me just declare it here. Asians will come to know Jesus. The jailer is coming. It doesn't matter. God is working. God is changing lives at the proper time. And this is the time. What will happen with the proper time? Wait. Some of you are ridiculous. Others of you are still trying to find out where to get the answer from. What will happen at the proper time? Are you ready for your harvest? How does your harvest look like? I know how mine looks like. I know the things that God has said. I know the things that God has promised. I know the things that I'm believing God for. I know the things that I'm praying that God will do. How does your harvest look like? One time we planted a passion fruit plant in my compound there, and in the village, and it grew, and it was on this small tree, and it had leaves everywhere. It had done so well. It was growing so well. It was beautiful. We used to take photos at it, but there was no fruit. January came and there was no fruit. February came, there was no fruit. It was so beautiful. One day my grandfather came and he was a fruit farmer. He knew what was wrong. And we asked him, Grandma, how come the passion fruit plant is not producing any fruit? And he said, give me some, they call that materials. And he called them and he went to the tree and it began pruning. He cut off all the green, nice looking leaves and he removed them. By the time he was done, the thing was looking so bad and disheveled. Because he had removed all the beauty. We could no longer take photos at it. But here's the thing, 2 months later we had fruit. And 3 months down the line we were eating passion grown from our plants. And Grandma taught me a lesson. That as long as the tree would have remained the way it was, we never have got any fruit, because the fruit does not come in the evidence of the leaves. It comes in the evidence of flowers. And the flowers come when you cut away everything else that is eating up their nutrients. And all those many leaves that we love to take photos with were useless. They were not going to help us get any fruit. Are you hearing me? And so our fruit came and we were excited to reap our harvest. Here's the thing, my friends. You need to realize that if you continue to walk in weariness, if you continue eating whatever fruit that you're supposed to have, and you will never have a harvest. And the Bible says, do not be weary, do not grow weary. Are you hearing me? I think that's powerful by itself right there. Can I stop? Because, my friends, our harvest is coming. I know my harvest. Do you know your harvest? Your harvest could be that promise that God gave you. Your harvest could be that dream that you have that you know God wants to keep us to. Your harvest could be that life that you know you're supposed to go living as you pursue and walk in His promises. My friends, do not forget to eat your harvest. Eat your harvest. Do not go there. That harvest might be a business where your business is supposed to go. But if you give up now, your business will become history. But if you keep persisting, believing, trusting God, not going where you will get there. My friend, do not give up. Do not give up. Your harvest is coming. Heavenly Father, we thank you that every one of us has a harvest. And you need to help us to keep our eyes on our promise and run after it. Because our harvest is coming. Help us to go after it. Help us not to grow weary, Jehovah God. Help us to focus on you and hear you and run with you, O God, and be all that you want us to be. My Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray that no politician will steal our harvest, that no boss or friends will steal our harvest, because we'll keep our eyes on you, not on what is going on around us. We'll keep our eyes on you. We'll hear your voice. We'll rejoice in you, and we'll allow you to do whatever it is that we desire to do in our lives. Help us to become with you. Help us to become all that you want us to be. I pray, my Father, that in the name of Jesus, we may acknowledge and glorify you. As you're praying today, before we stand again to this prayer, I would like to ask that you here, and you would say, Pastor, you know what, I've been there. I've allowed my joy to be stolen. I've lost my joy. I'm no longer excited about the things of God, and I need God to help me today. I need God to help me, revive me, help me rejoice. I need God to help me focus on Him. I've been looking at things and being discouraged. I need to lift up my eyes to God and see what He's doing and what He's saying. Or maybe you're saying, I've perfected my harvest. I've begun to go after other things, and I need to go after my harvest. Would you go ahead and just say, it's me, and raise up your hand, and I'll pray together with you. Is there anyone like that who would say, Pastor, pray with me before I walk out of this place, before you close out someone? It's me that needs to be revived. I need to walk away from weariness, that I may be who God wants me to be. Father, every hand that is lifted up is lifted up to you, our King and our God. Not to me, but to you, Father, are these hands lifted. And I pray that, Lord, you will cause there to be a wind that blows over my brothers and sisters, a wind of revival. That, God, you may take away weariness, you may renew their strength, you may help them to wait upon you. My God, you may cause them to soar up on wings as eagles and take flight with you, that they may go where you want them to go, my Father, that their lives will never be the same again. My God, I bless them today. I bless them to prosper in you. I bless them, my Father, to soar with you. I pray that, God Almighty, you will give them joy today. You will renew their joy. You will cause them, my Father, to hold on, to focus on you, and allow you to finish the work that you're doing. My God, may they not give up. Somebody who is about to give up, Lord, I pray that they will not give up, that they will push, that they will not be weary. They will do what they're supposed to do, because, God, you're bringing in their harvest. I pray for your blessing and favor upon these children. May you go with them. May you bless them. In Jesus' name.